Pelvic floor changes are very common, but a lot of people are surprised by them because it's something that nobody actually talks about, and so they don't know what they actually feel like. And because of that, a lot of people end up experiencing these changes without really having the language to describe them. And I'll share from my own experience. I first noticed changes in my body after having my first daughter, and later I learned that I was experiencing pelvic organ prolapse. But at the time, I didn't have the language to describe what I was feeling. I knew something was wrong, I knew something was different, but I didn't know to describe it as heaviness or pressure or the downward feeling and dragging. And that's something that I hear from a lot of people too. A lot of people assume that pelvic floor changes only happen after having kids, but the reality is that they can happen at during many different stages of life. They can happen before kids, they can happen regardless of kids, they can happen during and after menopause. They can also show up with things like high impact exercise, during hormonal shifts that come along with menopause, with physically demanding work, or just with simply everyday aging. So this isn't tied to just one experience. It's something that can show up in different ways at different times. And another thing that people don't expect is how subtle these changes can feel at first. It's not always something obvious or sudden. Sometimes it's just a feeling of pressure and heaviness at the end of the day, or the sense of heaviness after you've been on your feet for a while, or just this quiet thought that's kind of in the back of your mind of this just feels different than it used to. And something that really surprises people is that these symptoms can change throughout the day. You might feel completely normal in the morning, and then you notice more pressure or heaviness later in the day. Or you might feel it more after certain activities, movement, or fatigue. And that variability can make it even harder to understand what's going on. A lot of people who have prolapse might feel that they're much more symptomatic during their menstrual cycle. And there's various reasons where people, say that this happens, but it's just a good example of how this is kind of a roller coaster as far as the symptoms that you can experience over time. And something that I hear from pelvic health professionals is this phrase, common but not normal. And what that means is that yes, a lot of people experience these symptoms, but that doesn't mean that they should be ignored. These things aren't something that you just have to live with. And there are ways to explore what's going on and what might help. For some people, that looks like pelvic floor physical therapy. For others, it might just mean small adjustments to activity or exploring different types of support. If you're starting to notice these kinds of changes and wondering what to do next, I have a blog that walks through the common moments when people begin exploring pelvic floor support and what that process can look like. I will link that for you below. Pelvic floor changes are common, but understanding them can help you better understand what your body needs. And if something's feeling different, even in a small way, it really is worth paying attention to. I hope that you found this helpful, and I will see you in the next video.